Hello, everyone. Welcome to Consistently Creative Crew. I am Colleen Day, along with Cheryl Bliss and Kari Schick. Together, we are Consistently Creative Crew. And tonight, we are going through the Simple Page Kit, Your Own Way, number 7. And here is the layout. Has 2 vertical photos and 4 smaller horizontal photos that are 3.5 by 2.5. And you can adapt the layout to whatever works best for you. And if you are registered for our class, then you received the digital instructions to create this and the traditional instructions on how to create this. So if you don't happen to have the Simple Page collection, you can create it with whatever you have on hand. So the Simple Page kits, they come with 2 pre-printed base papers. And we were just discussing how unique it is that on the right-hand side base paper, Creative Memories has the design go right up to the edge. And at first I thought it was a mistake, because we don't typically do that, but that is exactly how the sample is put together. So they're just doing something a little bit different. And that's what we like about it, keeping us on our toes. It also comes with 1 piece of designer paper that we cut apart, and all the cuts are indicated on the back. You also receive a strip of stickers. And if you buy the quarterly collection, you get an extra special sticker for each page. And this month it's packed with love, homemade goodness. So they're making the layout. So here it is. The stickers are sweet memories and popsicles. Or you could, have a nice picnic dinner or a day in the park, something different. Trying to make it as versatile as possible. So all we have to do is cut apart our paper. As we already said, the cuts are on the back. And what we have found is that when there's a change in paper, it's best to cut it from the designer side of the paper so that you make sure to cut exactly on the line. So we're going to wait till we get to that point. The first cut, let me turn my trimmer around. The first cut is 4 by 12. And then you rotate it down, rotate it and cut it 6. So you're going to have 2 4 by 6 mats. Okay, there are mats. Then the next cut is at 4 again. I'm going to turn it over so I can cut it right on the line between the change in colors. So again, this is again at 4 inches. And now I'm going to turn it over and just follow the lines. So this is 4 by 3, so we're cutting it at 3. And you do it 2 more times. Cut at a strip of 4 at 3 times. So you end up with 4 mats. And you can see with the pre-designed paper, one of them is like a nice juggling box. And then the last strip, guess what? It's 4 inches also. And we're going to cut it in half, so we're cutting it at 2. They were very effective by naming it Simple Page Kits, because it's simple. You cut one piece of paper, simple cuts, and you're done. So we are finished with our trimmer. And now we lay it out. So the right-hand side paper, the three squares go right up to the edge. I'm gonna do this. And again, obviously you can arrange it any which way you like. The two strips go across the bottom. The two 2-inch strips go across the bottom. The 4x6 mats go across from each other in the center. And the 4x3 mats get spread out. I'm gonna put this one here. On either side. And the sample shows you using the border strip across the bottom, spreading out the embellishments across the page, up and down, putting a big sweet summer moments strip across the bottom also. Then for photo placement, it's 3.5 by 2.5 on the squares. You can do 3 or 4. You can leave this as a journaling box if you wish. And then the larger photos are 3.5 by 5.5, and there's 2 of those. And of course, if your photos have a different orientation, then you just change it up. Do whatever works for your photos. That's what makes it so nice. You can also add in extra cardstock. The coordinating colors for this are canary, dark sea green, baby blue, plum, and beige. So you could add other elements if you wanted to using the different colors. Does anyone have any questions about the layout or the cutting guide?
All right, I will pause the recording.
Thank you, Kari.
Hey, this is Kari, and I am going to take a little bit of time to show you how to do this digitally using Artisan. And one thing I had not known or realized when I was creating the instructions was what Colleen had pointed out about these squares on the base papers. So I am going to still do it kind of the way that I have the instructions written, where I have this grouping of squares that are in the background kind of centered on the paper. Obviously feel free to move them around as much as you want. The nice thing about this layout is that it is symmetrical. So once we do the one side, it's really easy to do the other. So I have the instructions here with the cut apart as well as the design on the base papers. And it's pretty straightforward because each of these squares are 2.5 inches and their space 1/8 of an inch apart. And the top of the grouping is 1.75 inches from the top. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting it laid out. So one thing that I find really helpful is to take a little screen snip and to do it exactly the way that it is here. And then I use the colors pretty much the same as in the sample. And then I would come back later on and adjust that for my own layout. So I'm going to just put that screen snip up here off to the side so I can see it. And then I can sample my colors. So the first thing I'll do is I will insert a 12 by 12 rectangle that will be my base. And I will just make that white just in case I want to do something later on with it. the X and Y are going to be 0 and 0. Then I'm going to insert a 2.5-inch square. So 2.5 by 2.5. And this one I will go ahead and use the fill. I'm just going to sample that plum color and I'm going to click create. And then I know that I'm going to need a bunch of these. There are actually 12, so I am just going to go ahead and copy and paste. And then I will start moving them. And I'm just getting them close to position to begin with. I will worry about getting them exactly correct in a moment. All right. So the way I found this the easiest to do was I set this one up just to begin with at 0.5. And then since I knew that the next one, that they're 2.5 inches, I can just use the X and the Y to get the 1/8 of an inch. And by doing that, I can then select them and have them all evenly spaced. So I'm just going to do that with this first row. And I can align them and I can distribute horizontally. And now that grouping is good. So now what I could do is I could go ahead and get all of these aligned and get them matched up. But it's actually easier to group them and then just add your next groupings. So I'm going to change how I'm doing this. I'm going to go ahead and copy this and paste it and then paste it again. Now, again, I'm going to let the math help me out here. So if I put this at 0.5 and then I put this at the Y at 3.125, I know that it is going to be exactly where I want it. And then I can do the same type of thing with the alignments, like the first, the second, and the last, and distribute vertically. And they should all end up nicely aligned. Now I've got them all together and then I can group them. So I basically just attempted to make it easier by doing a group of 4, getting it lined up, and then copy and paste them. So the other things I'm going to do to line this all up is I know that it was 1.75 from the top and it's also centered. I'm going to use it centered horizontally. So I can use the Y of 1.75 and that is pretty much my base. So now I'm going to just ungroup all of them, color them incorrectly. And it really doesn't matter what your colors are here. I think you could fill them whatever you want. So I'm going to fill these with that light blue. This one is let's see here. What else do I have? And I think that's the last one that I need to fill in. And then for masks, If you want some kind of mass behind it, you can definitely look through your content and find something that you have that might work. Um, I am just going to go ahead and add this one to my page, and then I'm going to fill it with that plum purple color that's here. And then I'm going to put it behind everything. All right, and that's basically the base page for the one side. And now I've got to add all of my pieces from the cut apart. So the first one is I'm going to add is this rectangle that's a little border along the bottom. And it's 12 by 2. And it is this dark green. And that's going to end up here at the bottom. You can slide that in. Now I'm just going to copy that same thing again and then just change the dimensions of it because it's the same color. So this is now 4 by 3. And now I'm going to copy and paste that because I needed 2 of them. And I'm going to paste it one more time because I need a third one, and that one's going to be 4 by 6. And the last thing I need on the page is some photo frames. So the first ones are 3.5 by 2.5. And then I can center that on its mat by using the second and the fifth. Then I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it and I'm going to put it on its mat. And then I'm going to paste one more time. And I'm going to make this one a little lot taller, 5.5. And I'm going to center it on its mat. I'm going to just group these together with the photos with their maps for right now, just so I can move them around. Since the layout, we don't really have any information about where they put these or how they were lined up. I just eyeballed them based on what I thought looked good. So I am going to group these 2 landscape ones, and then I'm going to center the portrait one amongst it. So I think that's pretty much everything that I need to do on this page. And then since the other one is just a mirror image, all I have to do is go over to the right side panel, click on the drop down arrow, click on insert a mirror image of this page, and it will insert it before the page that I just created. So then I'm going to want to change the order so I can just click and drag it. Then on the new page, there's a few things that's a little bit different. And you can see when I inserted the mirror image, it actually mirror imaged the screen snip that I did. So I want to flip it back so I can see it. So here I can see the colors again. So when I did that, a lot of it is the same, but there are a couple that were a little bit different. So I will go ahead and fix those. This one. But again, you can make it your own. You don't have to use the same colors. You can change it up however you would like. All right. And then the only thing I have left to do is ungroup these and ungroup them again because I need to change this photo mat to just a white filled piece of paper. That's the way it was on the original, and now it's set up as a journaling box. And then I think I need to move these little mass parts around a little bit. I'll save it and I'll show you my 2-page spread. And that's pretty much it. So the long time is just creating the one page and getting all the squares filled in, but then it should come together pretty easily. So I will pause the recording and we'll finish creating.
Looks good. Welcome back, everyone. So here is my completed Your Own Way Simple Page Kit number 7. My photos worked a little bit differently. I added a baby blue photo mat, was one of the colors that were recommended that would go with this collection. And I made sure to have all my photos start at the top on the same line as did the sample, and just lets the photos flow across. This paper, I actually cut it into two pieces like you were to, and then I'm like, oh, but I have the whole photo and I can fit the whole one on here. So I just put them back together again.
Nice.
You know? So, I mean, if you really, really look hard, you can see right there, there's a little teeny tiny line, but nobody. And I honestly, I love, this worked perfectly for me. I just followed exactly what the Creative Memories design team did for embellishments. I left this as a journaling box. I actually used up every single sticker.
Nice.
I love.
Looks good.
Again, if you buy the whole quarterly collection, you get this extra embellishment, and it's packed with love, homemade goodness. It's kind of like a picnic basket. And just so you can do a whole different theme with the colors.
Awesome. Looks great.
Looks great.
It does.
Hey, who else would like to share?
Anyone else have the layout that they want to share?
I've got the layout done. Do you want to do traditional first, though?
I don't know that there are any other traditional. So go ahead.
Okay. Not quite done. I'm still playing with the color of the mats, but and I don't have pictures.
Ooh,
pretty.
I like the colors.
Thanks.
Oh, nice.
Love the colors.
Yeah.
I couldn't do the same color on both pages. I had to change it.
Well, of course, put
It's
your
all
own
right.
spin on it. Looks good.
Yeah. Looks
Thank
good.
you.
Looks like orange sherbet. It looks like sherbet colors.
Mm.
After looking
Nice
at
choice
Colleen's
on the
ice cream
colors.
page, I'm thinking
Yeah.
ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice
There you
cream is
go.
in your future, right?
Mhm.
Yep. Anyone else? All right, I'll share my page. And I kept the same colors. I just used it.
Ooh,
I love
Oh.
that.
cute.
Cute.
That's very cute.
After I had it, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I need to change the colors. I'll just,
Yeah,
you
that's
don't.
great.
Looks perfect.
and the embellishments worked. So,
Great.
all right. Well, then I will get back to
Deanna's
Colleen.
coming up, or was.
Oh,
I thought.
Anyone else?
No, I'm here, but no.
Okay.
uh,
All right. Well, then you can wrap it up.
Great. Thank you, everyone else, for joining us. tonight in person. And if you're watching the recording, we look for your input. We'd love to see your layout if you want to share in the album on our Facebook page to show us what you created. We can be inspired by your creation. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen.
Bye.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Bye-bye.